Do we have our bottles of Kenzo Homme EDP? Are we engaged with our higher self? Kenzo Homme Eau de Parfum. This is a very unique fragrance that is guaranteed to make you stand out, but it's definitely not for everyone. And today I'm going to detail exactly who this is for and everything you need to know. Now, before we get into Kenzo Homme EDP, make sure you spray that like button and subscribe if you like fragrance content like this. Kenzo Homme Eau de Parfum comes in this nice box, which represents the fragrance very well. It's a white box with a photo of what the fragrance looks like on the front. And obviously it's just saying Kenzo Homme Eau de Parfum, but around the side it does say that this bottle is made out of 15% recycled glass, and the cap has been designed to reduce plastic consumption by 34%. Not only is this a good fragrance, but it is also good for the environment. Generic looking box, and the box absolutely does not matter. So what I'm gonna do is talk about the fragrance and what the bottle looks like, because I think that this bottle is actually quite nice. So this weird looking bottle is the 110 milliliter size Eau de Parfum concentration of Kenzo Homme Eau de Parfum. Kenzo Homme EDP was made in 2022 and it was perfumed by Quentin Biche in France. This bottle is a little bit weird looking, but you may wonder what it was supposed to represent. Kenzo is a brand that originates from Japan. So what this actually represents is a bamboo stick. Traditionally in Japan, the samurais would use their katanas and they would practice on stalks of bamboo. And when they slice through those stalks of bamboo, it signifies that your katana technique is up to par. And this looks exactly like that. On the top of the cap, it does say Kenzo. And when you take off this, I mean, in my opinion, not good cap at all, you get this metallic blue atomizer that actually does say Kenzo. So this cap in itself, it kind of frictions into place, but it is very weak, like in the sense that like the littlest amount of movement, it will fall off. So never grab this by the cap. I wish it clicked into place a little bit better, but obviously that does not matter. Anyways, on the bottom of the bottle is my batch code, and my batch code is 2E01. Let's talk about the boring parts, the notes. In the top notes, C notes, mid notes, leather, base notes, patchouli. This fragrance is way more complex and interesting than just those three notes. So in my opinion, they did a horrible job at describing what's in this fragrance, so I'm gonna do it for you. When I spray this fragrance on skin, it's quite loud, but I'm gonna get into that into the performance category. I almost get this like tropical, fruity, sweet vibe to it. The first thing that jumps to my mind is a fig note. I am picking up on this kind of animalic, leathery note. So this is a leather aquatic, which makes it very different. I get this salty marine vibe and a little bit of spices. That is kind of what I'm getting when I smell Kenzo Homme EDP. Everything combines into one to make an actually extremely unique and addictive scent profile that I think a lot of people are gonna like. If you don't like leather, you're not gonna like this too much because it is quite leathery. Now, when I smell something like Kenzo Homme Eau de Parfum, it is so complex and unique. You know those niche fragrances that are just kind of like completely different? You smell it and you're like, whoa, what is that? This is like what I get out of here. It does not smell like a designer fragrance. This is a very daring scent profile to make. It's unique. It's not mass appealing because it is a scent profile I've never smelt before. So this is a very daring thing for Kenzo to do. This is considered in an affordable designer budget category. They are doing something unique with those fragrance oils that is to truly be respected. Good job, Kenzo. So I think Kenzo Homme EDP is good for spring, summer, and fall because there is some sweetness in there. It is quite loud, so this can carry you in from warmer weather to colder weather quite well, actually, in my opinion. It can be worn in days to nights, casual to dressy. You will find yourself wearing this in a wide variety of situations, wearing a wide variety of styles. Kenzo Homme EDP is for a confident man in his mid to late 20s and up. I don't think that anyone that's younger than 20 is gonna really find a scent profile like Kenzo Homme EDP that appealing to them. And I also think that someone that likes the more generic scents, this is a little bit more bold and daring than something you may be used to. So definitely try this out if you can before you buy it, because it's not for everyone. If I was to picture a man that this would go well with, it's a strong, dominant, charismatic leader of a man who's powerful and knows exactly what they want, but it also has this like playful edge to it with some of that sweet fruitiness, and that leather kind of gives it this kind of mysterious vibe. All those things can be backed up by the performance of this fragrance. This is shockingly beast mode. In fact, when I sprayed it on myself, I thought it was loud, but when I sprayed it on my friend Chad from A Gentleman's Journey, I could literally smell this stuff from like 5 feet away. In the beginning 30 minutes to an hour, I would say that Kenzo Homme EDP projects 4+ feet. Now, somewhere after that 1 hour to 3 hour mark, it's gonna taper a little bit back. It's not not gonna be as loud, but you're still getting around 2 feet projection out of this after 3 hours. That 2 feet is going to last you around the 6-hour mark. After the 6 to 8 hour mark, it's gonna progress into somewhat of a skin scent, but also give a slight projection. Towards the end of this life, after it's almost faded off, I do pick up this slight pickly vibe, like I got in something like Dolce & Gabbana's K EDP. That's gonna last you around 10 to 12 hours. At that mark, it's gonna be pretty much gone or just a slight skin scent. Kenzo Homme EDP was so surprisingly strong that when I sprayed it on my forearm, 3 hours later, I put my sweater on, and because of how well it was radiating off of my skin, my sweater smelled like this fragrance for like a full day after. That's how strong this is. I thought I was going crazy. I wanted someone else's opinion because there is not many reviews of Kenzo Homme EDP out right now. Although this fragrance is getting a lot of hype, it's just making people's list videos. Now, before I give this fragrance a rating out of 10, I wanted another person's opinion. Someone's nose that I can trust. He's been around a lot more than I have. Chad from A Gentleman's Journey. So let's switch it to him real quick to see what he thinks. Make sure I'm not crazy. Wow, that's strong. I can smell it from back there.
Yeah.
Whew. Since we are now with Chad from A Gentleman's Journey, he's actually the guy that introduced me to the brand of Kenzo itself. So I thought it was only fitting to get his impressions of what he thinks.
The original opening has been there for the last 2 hours. The opening itself is very brash, very loud. I like it. There is definitely some sensuality to it. A lot of the ladies have been hyping this up, and I'm very much against the hype train, but I will painfully and shamefully admit they were right. They were right. This is actually really good. It's very different. What is it? It's patchouli, leather, and aquatics. But I feel like there's more going on. Because I feel like there is like cardamom or anise.
Okay, yeah, it'll give it like a licoricey vibe to it.
Yeah, like where it's at now, very different. There's still that sensuality to it. In some ways, it kind of feels linear because you're getting all the notes, but it's still pronounced because you were able to smell me from over there.
Yes.
In that opening, you get that saltiness, the leather, a little woods, but I feel like there's spices.
I see what you're saying though.
It's nice, masculine. Like I got a decant at home. I've never smelt it. I might get a bottle. We've done a number of Kenzos together.
Yep.
This would be in my top 5.
Yeah.
But like less is more.
Aggressive.
Ease up on the cologne.
That is Chad from A Gentleman's Journey. Thank you, Chad.
Thank you.
Thank you, Chad. I really do value your opinion. You have put your nose through a war zone when it comes to fragrances. Before I give this a rating out of 10, let's detail the price. For the 110 milliliter bottle, I paid $79 Canadian, $59 USD, but that was from a discounter. I'm sure if you get this retail, it's gonna be more expensive. Considering this is still somewhat of a newer release, we can expect a bit of a price drop coming soon. I think that this fragrance actually lives up to the hype, but there is a little bit of characteristics that I didn't like, you know? I didn't really like the pickly note that came in. It was a little bit too strong for me later on in the deep dry down. I think that Kenzo Homme EDP is a unique designer fragrance that a lot of people are going to enjoy. It's gonna make you stand out from typical aquatic fragrances. I think that this is every little bit deserving of an 8.3 out of 10. If you like this fragrance, make sure you check out that review, and I'll see you over there.